people, oh, your name, yeah, I'm not going to be, I don't show my.
All right, we are now live on YouTube, and I see Mike D'Agostino is now coming in also. And I'm going to call to order this special meeting of the Easton Reading Region 9 Joint Boards of Education for Tuesday, August 24th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m., being held remotely. Present for the Reading Board of Education, Heather Whaley, Colleen Pilato, Mike Hoffman, Stephanie Olton, Chris Hocker, and myself, Chris Parkin. I'm also calling the Reading Board of Education to order at this time at 7:33 p.m. And I'll ask John and Todd to please call your boards to order.
Thank you, Chris. Call to order this special meeting of the Easton Reading Region 9 Boards of Education. Call to order the Easton Board of Education at 7:33 p.m. Members in attendance, Jeff Parker, Jenny Cheetah, Devin Weibel, and Randy Hicks, as well as myself, John Stinson.
And I will do the same for Region 9, calling this to order at 7:34. Members in attendance, Cheryl Graziano, Mike D'Agostino, Quinn Denny, Mary Lou Pompel, Maureen Williams, Sarah Lieberger, and myself, Todd Johnston.
All right, thank you, Todd. And at this time, we have 103 folks on the call, and I'm going to ask everybody to make sure that your lines are muted unless you are speaking. The first item of business is discussion and possible action, the appointment of a superintendent. And for this item, I'm going to turn it over to the co-chairs of the Superintendent Personnel Search Committee Steering Committee, Cheryl Graziano from Reading and Maureen Williams from Easton.
Thank you, Chris, Todd, and John, and thank you for members of the public for attending. I wanted to review the process real quickly. The Personnel Search Committee, if everyone can recall, is comprised of 21 members, all 21 members of the 3 boards of education. Of the 21 members, 12 are part of a steering committee as appointed by each board chair. The steering committee and our search consultant, Dr. Joseph Arardi, worked during the summer to solicit community input via 4 public sessions, which are recorded and redistributed out for the public for further input. And we worked during the summer to solicit this input. Based on that input, we designed a very thorough search and selection process. That process identified 20 very highly qualified applicants with many diverse experiences across many states in the U.S. The steering committee reviewed every application packet, held initial interviews with 6 candidates, and was joined by the full board for comprehensive callback interviews with 3 finalists. This process brings us to our proposed appointment for superintendent, and I'll turn it over to Maureen.
It is my pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. Jason McKinnon. Dr. McKinnon is a passionate educator and has been the sitting superintendent at the Oxford Public School District in Connecticut. Dr. McKinnon completed his research and PhD in the area of educational leadership, specifically completing his PhD on the effects of scaffolding higher order thinking questions on reader self-efficacy and critical thinking in 6th grade students. Dr. McKinnon is best known for his unique skills in building strong working relationships with parents, faculty, and students, and he impressed both myself, Cheryl, and all 21 members of the board in our interviews with him, which took place on 2 successive occasions. Thank you, Dr. McKinnon, for agreeing to work with us, and we look forward to a wonderful and fruitful and productive time with you.
Thank you, Cheryl and Maureen. Before we introduce Dr. McKinnon to introduce himself to the community, I will look for motions from all 3 boards to effectuate his appointment. I will look for a motion that the Easton, Reading, and Region 9 Boards of Education separately, in accordance with Connecticut General Statute Section 10-157, appoints Dr. Jason McKinnon to serve as superintendent of schools with a start date to be mutually agreed upon, that the chair be authorized to execute the proposed contract between Dr. McKinnon and the Easton, Reading, and Region 9 boards as joint employers, and that the Personnel Search Committee's work, including the work of the steering subcommittee, be deemed completed and the committee dissolved. And I'll look first for that motion from Easton, please.
Do I hear the motion in Easton?
So moved.
Thank you, Jenny.
Second.
And I'm sorry, wait, Devin, you're the second. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking for the same motion in Reading, please.
So moved.
Reading.
I see Heather with the motion and Mike Hoffman with the second. Looking in Region 9.
And for Region 9, looking for the same motion.
So moved, Cheryl.
Cheryl,
Seconded, Maureen.
second, Maureen.
Thank you. Is there any discussion across any of the boards on the motion? If there is no discussion across the boards, we'll vote and take the call to question, starting with Easton, where the motion originated.
Thank you, Chris. I'll do a roll call vote here. So Jenny,
Yes.
thank you. Devin,
Yes.
thank you. Randy,
Yes.
thank you. Jeff,
Yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion passes unanimously in Easton. I think we need to mute somebody's line there.
I think it's Colleen who's getting prepared to vote in a second. Thank you,
Okay,
John.
sorry.
Looking to Reading, Heather,
Yes.
Colleen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Steph. Put your thumb up. There we go. Thank you, Stephanie. And Chris Hocker.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries 6-0 in Reading. On to Region 9, Todd.
And we'll call the question in Region 9 on the motion. Cheryl,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mary Lee,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Todd. And with that, it is my distinct privilege and honor to introduce the new superintendent of Easton, Reading, and Region 9, Dr. Jason McKinnon.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for that lovely introduction, Maureen and Cheryl. I'd like to thank the Easton, Reading, and Region 9 Boards of Education members for this tremendous opportunity and honor. I'm excited to join your team, join your communities, and to lead your schools. The towns of Easton and Reading deeply value teaching and learning and are committed to every student receiving a highly quality education. My most important goal is to help faculty and staff impact the lives of students, and that's what I've been focused on for my entire career. This is an important year. Our goal is not just to return to school, we have to return to schools better and stronger than we ever have before. And when I think about the teachers that you have at Easton, Reading, and Region 9, I'm highly optimistic that we can rebound and meet the needs of all of our students. And I'm just thrilled to work with such a talented group of teachers, administrators, leaders, and staff. I have two girls, ages 13 and 16. Their names are Finley and Grace. And as a father, I hope they return to schools feeling welcomed, safe, and happy. And as an educator, I hope they are challenged and they set reachable goals for themselves. As a leader entering your communities, I plan to listen openly and get to know what you value, what you want to protect, and what you want to preserve. In the next few days, I plan to work with board leaders and to identify a start date. And once we know when this journey begins, I hope to visit the district and meet you all in person very soon. One final note, I'm deeply grateful to my colleagues in Oxford, especially Dr. Miller. You are a wonderful and caring community, and I thank you for your encouragement and your support. There's also another colleague of mine joining tonight, Dr. Cosentina. Thank you. Thank you again for this honor. I look forward to meeting you all soon. I have a few surprises in store for students, but you'll have to wait until we meet. I'm excited to begin this journey, and I'm thrilled to be part of your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. McKinnon. That resolves the discussion and possible action section of the agenda for this evening, which moves us on to public comment. Members of the public wishing to be heard can use the raise hand function and the reactions button on Zoom if they'd like to make a comment, to be limited to 2 minutes. I see Debbie Barrer, please. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to welcome Dr. McKinnon to our community, but most of all, I want to thank our dedicated boards of education for their hours and hours of dedication, especially during the pandemic and this very difficult past year. Members of the Board of Education have chosen to put themselves in the public eye as stewards of the most important people in town, our children. And you have given our children and everyone in town an example of true leadership in considering different points of view, having open, honest, and I would guess sometimes difficult conversations, and solving immediate problems while looking to the future. So thank you all, and thank you, Dr. McMorrin, for stepping in and helping with this very important transition. Debbie Bearer, 8 Hayes Street in Easton.
Thank you, Debbie. Beatrix? You're muted, B.
Unmute. So sorry, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yep.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Hi. First, thank you everyone for your work in getting us a new
Beatrix, your
superintendent.
street and town, please.
Oh,
I'm
sorry, Easton, 27 Sidecut Road in Reading.
Thank you.
I'll bring the elephant into the room. You're inheriting a position that is going to require a lot of mending and healing in the community, at least within the school community. And also, the question that I have is, what is your experience when it comes to the work of DEI that has been started by Dr. Harrison? And you're inheriting a community where those who don't look like everyone else often feel that their voices are either avoided, nulled, or just flat out silenced. How will you be able to bring some kind of direction to this system that allows all parties to be able to learn from each other and grow and provide an environment that all the kids can learn from? That was it.
Thank you, Beatrix. Julia Pemberton?
Hi, good evening. Julia Pemberton, 159 Umpqua Road in Reading. Speaking tonight myself and also on behalf of the town of Reading. Dr. McKinnon, I would like to welcome you to the town. Thank you for taking on this wonderful district, especially at this time. I look forward to getting to know you, and the town stands ready to help you and support you in any way that we can. I also want to commend the Board of Education for spending their time throughout this summer to go through the search process and bring forward Dr. McKinnon to us. So again, thank you so much. And Dr. McKinnon, I look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Any further public comments? Seeing no further public comment, we'll move on to board member comment, starting in Easton.
Any public, board member comment in Easton? I can't.
I see Jenny.
Thank you. Jenny, please.
I just wanted to take a moment to thank Cheryl and Maureen for leading us through this process. Their leadership really was critical to this wonderful result. To thank Dr. Arardi again for his expertise and helping us to coordinate things, and just a really warm welcome to Dr. McKinnon. We're very, very happy to have you.
Thank you, Jenny. Any further comment from the Easton board members? Very good.
Looking to Reading, board member comment from Reading. Heather?
I just want to reiterate what Jenny said. Thank you to all the committee members, especially Cheryl and Maureen, and welcome to Dr. McKinnon. Happy to have you.
Anyone else in Reading? I would also ditto what Jenny said with thanks to Cheryl and Maureen and Dr. Arardi, and also just note for members of the public who might not know or recognize her yet, I wanted to note that Sharon Wiersman, our new interim principal at RES, is on the call, and welcome her to our district as well.
Thank you very much. I'm having a great week, learning a lot, and really enjoying talking with parents and staff and students. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Region 9.
Member comment from Region 9. I see Mike, go ahead.
I will just echo what everyone has said to this point. I think it's important to recognize the hard work of all 21 board members throughout this entire summer, filling multiple vacancies and spending many long hours in the search process. I do also want to commend Maureen and Cheryl and basically all the chairs and everyone who's been, so involved in this process, which I think, again, was very thorough and inclusive process, which, brought us to Dr. McKinnon. And on behalf of the Region 9 board and the communities of Easton and Reading, I want to welcome you and say how happy we are to have you. And we really look forward to a long, prosperous relationship. And we're hoping to get started as soon as we can. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else from Region 9? All right.
All right. If there's no further board member comment, that moves us on to item 5, which is adjournment. Look for a motion from Easton.
Do I have a motion to adjourn in Easton? I see Devin first and then Jenny.
Same question in Reading. I see Mike. Is there a second? I see
Second.
Heather. Thank you. Mike and then Heather, Region 9.
And Region 9, motion to adjourn. See Sarah, second. Mike, thank you.
Is there any objection across any 3 boards to adjourning at this time? Hearing no such